Hello, good day, everybody. My name is McLean Danielson, and I work on our undergraduate admissions team at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee in our Center for International Education. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation. Today, I will be discussing the different IT degree options in the United States for international students. As our world continues to advance technologically, so do the different programs and majors that universities across the United States offer for students. And oftentimes, many students can feel like they don't know what area of IT that they want to study in, or that they're only aware of specific degree options and not unaware of all the different types of degree options that are available to them. And so the goal of this presentation here today is to give more of an in-depth analysis of the various different types of programs that are out there today, what types of job opportunities can be associated with these programs, in order to give counselors, such as yourself, more tools to effectively advise students when they come to you to make sure that they're choosing the best programs for them and choosing the best programs for their professional careers. So this first slide here is a broad view of all the different types of programs that are currently being offered for IT degrees. And as you can see, there are some that are more popular than others in regards to maybe what you've seen in the past, such as computer science or computer engineering. Oftentimes, these are the two more popular majors that students think of when they think about IT degrees. But there are other options available outside of the colleges of engineering in general that students may be unaware of. We've included in the middle of this diagram a section listed UWM degrees offered to kind of give you a sense of the different types of levels of education that students can achieve. And as you can see, those can vary from anywhere between a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, even in some cases a PhD. And then at the bottom of the slide, we have different types of jobs that students who have majored in those programs have found themselves in. Now, I should note that whilst each individual program can be specific in its own right, there is a lot of overlap with other programs. So for example, if a student majors in computer science, that does not mean that they would be pigeonholed and specific to the job opportunities that are listed in that column. They could find a job opportunity in computer engineering, or if a student majors in data science, they could find a job opportunity in data analytics. But we have just found that those jobs that are listed under each specific program are most effectively achieved by the students in those specific programs and have the best opportunity for success. And so now that we've kind of showed all the different types of majors, let's go into a deeper breakdown of each and every one of them. So the first one listed here is computer science, and this one tends to be the most popular major that students think of when they think about studying in IT. Broadly stated, computer science is the study of computers and how they work. It includes tasks such as writing code, software development, and working with AI. Students will be working with algorithms. When they're in that program, some of the things that they'll learn also include math and machine learning and programming languages. And as you can see at the bottom of each slide, we also include, again, those job opportunities. So some of those include a software engineer, systems analyst, a network architect, and a database administrator. And so students who would find success, or students who would be interested in this specific program, tend to have more of a technical mindset, an interest in math, and a strong interest in wanting an overall broad education in the College of Engineering. And so students, when you advise them, these are the types of things that you'll want to look for. And again, it's an emphasis on math and programming languages. Another program that's also under the category of engineering is our computer engineering programs. This is a little bit different than computer science in that it's the development of computer hardware and software. And so in the previous slide, when we talked about computer science, that was more of less building of the actual physical computer itself and more of coding and programming languages. This is more of the creation of the physical things that are created in order to have a computer and things that might include, as an example, sensors that go into computers when you think of a street light with how it recognizes when to turn off and on, or the sensors that are put in a Roomba to make sure that it doesn't run into a wall, or if it has gotten stuck to get itself off. So these are the types of things that students in this program will be learning. It's things that they would learn: computer hardware, software, embedded systems, image and imaging processing. Some of the job opportunities then available with this type of major include application developer, systems engineering, firmware engineer, and an Internet of Things engineer. And for anybody out there who may not know what the Internet of Things is, it is basically defined as the network of physical devices, vehicles, and appliances, and other physical objects that are embedded with sensors, software, and network connectivity, allowing them to collect and share data. So if you think about having a smartphone or a smartwatch or a smart fridge or the systems in your cars, all being able to share and collect data amongst themselves, this is the type of field that would involve creating those types of things and contributing to that Internet of Things. So again, this is another area where students would have to have an interest in engineering, a technically minded mindset, a desire to learn about the creation of computers and math and all those types of things. And so as we'll see moving forward, there are other types of IT degrees available to students outside of these more two traditional programs. And one of these programs, Information Technology Management. Now, as you can see in the bottom left corner, this falls under the School and College of the College of Business. So different than engineering, it is going to be effectively defined as using functional tech that uses existing code and software to make business practices more efficient. So as I mentioned, it has a business emphasis, and it makes functions like accounting, marketing, and logistics work together cohesively and smartly. Students would have to have an interest in identifying and analyzing problems, finding innovative IT solutions then for those problems. So problem solving is a big part of this. Students would learn about database management and information security and systems analysis, but again, would also have that business component of business intelligence, learning about business management. So a student who would have a more business type mindset, want that business background in their education, this could be something that would be of interest to them. Some job opportunities include systems analyst, project manager, intelligence analyst, and an AI and data engineer. And so, yes, it's different from the more popular engineering majors that we had mentioned before. But again, it's figuring out how to implement and use an already created software for a business so that it runs efficiently for the employees that need to access it. Okay, another type of program that students might find interest in. This actually is in most schools, information science colleges, and that is information science technology. Information science technology is the study of how information is created, organized, managed, stored, retrieved, and kept securely. So students would help develop software for security and protection of data for entities or companies. Interests for this program would have to include computer science, web design, information security, things that the students would learn: front end web design, programming, project management, and information security. So information security and security in general is going to be the most important takeaway from here. An example of something like this would be if anybody out there has experienced a dual authentication system when they try to access an email or a certain software to make sure that their identity is confirmed. These are the types of things that these students in this program would be helping to create. Some job opportunities include information security analyst, computer network architect, a database administrator, or a cybersecurity analyst. And so again, students in this program would have interests that maybe differ from, say, an engineer, but still want to be learning about IT in a different way and have interest in security. Okay, another program to discuss here is data science. Data science is essentially understanding how to obtain, gather, and use high amounts of data for a company. An example of this from a higher education standpoint would be, say, you have students and applications, and you're looking at it from the lens of an admissions team. It's how can we obtain data on those applications and students to effectively use it to assist us with making decisions on how to best, say, recruit or to prioritize our efforts to maximize our output and obtain the best enrollment results as possible. And so there's a heavy emphasis on an interest in math and statistics, organization, analyzing large amounts of data. Students would learn about computer science and they would learn about programming, but again, also use of data structures and algorithms. Job opportunities to highlight with this program would be AI engineering, a data scientist, a data architect, or a data analyst. Now, you'll see on the next slide, we will talk about data analysts, which is quite similar, but the main takeaway to think of is this data science program is different than data analytics because you're obtaining information that is going to be used as opposed to analyzing it. And so the segue into data analytics, it's similar again to data science, but it's about making business decisions based on the data that has already been collected. And it's collected and analyzed in order to explain strategies for a business that help make things run more smoothly. It can be used in a variety of different industries, anywhere from healthcare, business, natural science, and social science. Students will again have an emphasis on math, but will also work with databases and data visualization. And almost more importantly, they're going to have to learn communication. So when you think of developing new business processes through analyzing data, one in this field would have to be able to effectively communicate that information, not just to, say, a team member, but perhaps an entire team, and in some cases, an entire company. And so students who would find success in this program or an interest in this program would have to have an interest to work in IT, but also more of a social mindset, being able to social network and work cohesively with other employees and coworkers. Job opportunities for this include data analyst, data scientist, machine learning scientist, network administrator, business intelligence. And you can see also on the bottom left that this actually falls under the College of Letters and Sciences. So again, perhaps something that a student who has little knowledge of what different types of IT degrees are available might not even know this is an option, considering that it is in letters and science as opposed to information science or engineering. So again, making students aware of this, and especially if they show interests in analyzation, this could be a very, very, very popular or point of interest major for them. Okay, so now that we've kind of dissected a little bit further the different types of degree options that students have available to them, the next thing we want to talk about is how can students best research degree programs for them. And so obviously, when they're being counseled by counselors, it's important to have the information of the different types of degrees out there, but also to encourage students to use the internet for their benefit. Students can find so much information online, even from a simple Google search. There's a plethora of different types of information out there for them, so we would encourage them to use that. They don't necessarily have to work entirely and exclusively with an agent because of that research being available to them online. We encourage students to look up specific types of career fields that they want to pursue or envision themselves in order to find people already in those positions. And then we would encourage them to reach out and network with those people to not only find out more about what they do on a day-to-day basis to figure out if that job is something that they want to pursue, but also what their education history looks like to get them to where they are today. And so being able to learn more about the different types of programs that they found themselves in. And once a student has more of a specific idea of the area in IT in which they want to study, most universities in the United States will have pages on their website where students can search and filter to specific programs that are offered within that school. And we've included here a picture of an example of our website where you can see students can search programs, they can filter, and they can see specific programs in addition to what types of degrees are offered at UW-Milwaukee. This allows them to learn more information about that major, but also degree-specific requirements. They'll be learning more about what the types of classes that they would take, what people who have graduated from that school have gone on to do, and also other information such as academic advisor information and things along those lines. And so using all these different tools as a counselor can really give the student the tools and the best options available to them to make the best decisions for their academic and professional careers. Okay, and so if anybody has any questions, thank you again for listening to this presentation here today. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to us here at UW-Milwaukee. Our email address will be linked to this presentation. So anybody who feels like they have any questions after viewing this, please feel free to reach out, whether it's about the programs that we have covered here today, or perhaps any questions you might foresee students asking you when counseling. Please feel free to reach out. Before we conclude here today, I would also like to include some UWM fast facts for you. UW-Milwaukee, we are located in the city of Milwaukee, which is in Wisconsin. We are on Lake Michigan and about an hour north of Chicago. We are one of the top 146 research universities in the United States. We have around 21,900 total students and thousands more alumni across the country and world. One of them being CEO's Microsoft, the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, who was a graduate student here at UWM, to give you an idea of what alumni have gone on to do. And UWM will also be the place for the US's first AI lab focused on manufacturing. So a lot of our students in the field have found that to be very, very interesting and a really, really cool thing. So again, if you have any other questions for us, please feel free to reach out. Thank you again for listening to our presentation here today. And we wish you all the best. Thank you.